Hi everyone, welcome to Class 5. As usual, if you have not, please follow on Twitch, participate in the live section or in the live stream. That's always awesome and I really enjoy hearing from everybody. Second, follow on Facebook so you can get updates for when I'm streaming and kind of off-schedule streams. My plan is shortly to kind of outside of the Monday, Wednesday, Friday streams start adding and peppering in some other little stuff. So if you're not on Facebook following, you won't have any idea when they are. Of course, I still record them on YouTube though, and you can have you still get the pleasure of listening to my soothing voice in the comfort of your own time zone as opposed to my crazy West Coast time. That said, I'd like to open the forum to any questions as per usual. These are any questions you might have. It can be off topic, it can be not related to what I'm doing at the moment. I will be doing some more GrowFX today. I think some texturing, some Zbrush, and we'll see where else we get with this. So without further ado, let's see if anybody has a question. While I wait the moment, I'm going to just kind of get started. So when we last left, I was working on this tree, and at that point I was a little, I don't know, annoyed with it, but I'm going to make some tweaks to it, and I think that it actually is going to work out just fine. So nobody's jumping at the bit, so I'm going to remove my talking head, or attempt to. There we go. Nice fade away. It's awesome. And I'm going to get to it. Okay. So we have the tree, and one of the nice features here is that I can kind of go through and with these little eyeballs here, isolate things and see, you know, what are the offensive branches as far as I'm concerned. So this is an offensive branch here in branch 01B. So I'm going to go into this eraser and go all Arnold on its ass. Although apparently it doesn't want to erase that one. Has it already done that one? Yeah, that's interesting. It's got that guy twice. Wonder if maybe that's the issue there. Oh, no, it's because I have manual update on. Yeah. Smooth. Alright, so let's get rid of that guy. And bam, he's gone. Alright, so the reason I got rid of that one is because from the camera it was like swooping across and I didn't really dig it. Alright, so going through the rest of them. Alright, another one that's kind of doing some bad shit when we start to mesh is this guy here. Because these are all meta meshes, we're getting this, like, this guy comes in and over and it's like a bridge type effect that is not cool. Okay, so confirm that is on C here, branch 01C. Go into the eraser. Oh, yeah, thanks. Operator error. Alright, and so now that guy's gone as well, won't create the problems in when it comes time to mesh. Alright, now let's go up one. So these are some other smaller branches. Most of them I think are fine. Maybe a little bit busy over here, but might be okay. Okay, branches B. That's just to this guy back here. It's fine. And C. Okay, and that's just a couple on this green guy back here. We can see him pop on. Boop, there. And those guys are fine. Next are the small ones, and at the moment I only have them on the root. So you can see that it's only applied to branches O1B, and what I might want to do is apply that to others, and I should, because these are kind of the little secondary guys. So let's do that and say branches. So what's he on right now? Sorry, branches O1B. And let's do branches O2A. So now we got, you know, these little guys. Branches O2B. And a couple other little guys. And O2C. That's interesting that... What is this one over here? I'm looking at this guy and noticing that he's got like nothing on him, and he's pretty prominent. Not that I want to put like a lot on it per se, but you know, that's an area that's just kind of sticking out. Oh, it is O1A. Okay. So I'm going to put some branches on that, but I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to copy it. Because what I don't want is kind of these guys start pretty early, and I want this to start, these branches to start later along the path. Pretty sure I just copied that and didn't paste it. Awesome. All right. Okay. And I'm just going to get rid of all these guys. And really, when you do something like this, you want to just check on manual update. So I can go through, and I'm looking for branch O1A, and I already know I want these branches to start percentage along the path a little bit further than the other one was, probably. I'm going to go ahead and update. And yeah, that's probably pretty good. I might make these guys just a little bit longer. Wild and crazy, adding a foot. Living dangerous. Yeah, sure. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and save. And let's look at... Yeah, this guy looks like he might be problematic, but in fact he's actually not. He's like going off in his own direction back there. What are these ones, in fact? I think it'll be okay that he's got nothing on him. I don't know. We'll see as we get further. The nice thing is that I'm not really going to go and sculpt this stuff all that crazy. I'll add some details and things, but I'll be able to add branches and things back on after the fact. But I like to have at least some sort of idea of what the overall form is going to be like before I take it out. So let's mesh this guy. So right now this is the old mesh. So now we're meshing everything. And we're waiting. Wednesday evenings is a hot time. A lot of people in attendance. All right. So, first thing we'll notice is, you know, these small branches, they super suck. they're way too big and they suck. So we're gonna remedy that. And first, I don't even have the roots small on either. The problem, I need to leave these guys on because they tweak out the entire shape of this. Once you have that like object reaction on, everything else just like the parent will kind of freak out a little bit. So I need to kind of know what I'm actually getting into here. So under my mesh, what do we got this? Yeah, all right. So let's see. I don't know, maybe something more like that. And same thing with this guy. Let it go. Go, go, go. And we sit and wait. We're gonna wait a while, apparently. Alright, so that's better. And it's really just to get some, like, little bits and pieces, you know, looking at the image, you know, there's not a whole ton coming off of it. So I really want to leave this open and let some of the other stuff we're gonna do have some dominance and really, like, you know, at the moment there's kind of, this is a little bit crappy there. It's interesting that it's choosing to go behind that guy. Might want to put a guy underneath there to push those dudes out. Let's save. And go back to line mode. And I think in my roots I already have this guy, this target point. And that is this, yeah, the gravity. So I was gonna move him down a little bit and see what I get. There we go. I just wanted to push those roots out. They were coming back behind the rock, and I really wasn't digging that, so I wanted to change that. Let's turn those guys on. The little ones. Oh, that's hot. Interesting. So you saw that just like total change there. If I turn this guy off, we have this. If I turn that guy on, we've got the other one. Can I do this in after mesh object reaction? Yes, I can. Maybe I will do that way. Let's test this. I don't use this that often, and I kind of think that this is what it's for. It's a relatively newer feature. So let's basically copy these settings. So I want 5 foot, 60, 2 inches. So 2 inches, gonna do magnetic, 5 feet, 60, generate points, and 7 inches. And I don't need to show them, and I'm going to pick this mesh. And then I'm going to turn this guy off. I'm gonna say update. And, well, I should have turned those guys on. Okay, so they're going all like squiggly and crazy at the moment, right? And then let's mesh it and see if it behaves and does what I want without compromising everything else. That's exactly what I wanted. No tree at all. Lesson over. When you're not getting what you want, just get rid of it entirely. New concept. Some rocks. No tree. So it's building. Very slowly. Yes! Alright, so I learned something here today. That stuff is freaking sweet. So you all saw, like, when I had the object reaction on here, my trunk, everything, it just went, you know, totally insane. Completely nuts. And that wasn't what I want. It was changing the form of the tree in a way that was not acceptable to my concept. So instead, I went to this after mesh modifier, and when you visualize it as lines, it doesn't look like it's doing what you want. But once you turn on the mesh, you're actually getting what you want. And that allows you to, you know, do stuff like this and not completely change your tree, which is cool. So that's good. I knew there had to be a way. That Edward, always thinking. Alright, so let's close all this. And we're going to take this guy to Zbrush. Alright. As per usual, I need to make sure that I have convert to edit mesh on. And I'm going to, I can't believe that I went this whole time and I still have GrowFX 001. I'm going to name this Hero Tree Live, because this is my live mesh. And then hide it, bring this guy back. So he was GrowFX baked. I'm going to delete him. And no. Come on. Give me the tree. There we go. Alright, and clone it. I don't want an instance. I want it to be baked. Then I'm going to add it to my layer. That was the baked layer, so that's off screen if you can't see it, but I'm just trying to keep stuff out of the way. Add to selected layer, get rid of the GrowFX, or just hide my GrowFX guy. So now this is baked. I need to update it before I can collapse it to a mesh. That's gonna take a minute. Come on. It could be worse. We could be simming fluids. It'd be really slow. Once we do get to that point, I think I'm going to use two computers. One is a sim node and another one that's, you know, I'm kind of working on other stuff, and we can just watch YouTube and watch the sim go, you know. Seems to work for guys playing video games. So now I've got it baked, I've got it set, or not baked, but it is a mesh set to convert to mesh, and I'm going to collapse this guy, convert to editable mesh. So now he's baked, he is ready for his journey to Zbrush. Alright, so we're going to export the selected object, and I'm going to Month1, class 5, Zbrush, to Zbrush, obj, hero tree, V001, and really need materials. Texture coordinates at this point aren't really important because once I dynamesh it and do other shit to this thing, it's going to blow all that away, so you don't really need them. Alright. We are ready. Okay, so this is where we left off last class. I think this was looking at the Z remesher and whatnot, and I'm not going to use that at the moment. At the moment I'm going to use Dynamesh because that's going to allow me to kind of smash and bang other stuff together. So I'm just going to delete this guy. Yes, I'm sure. And come back and duplicate this one. And class 5. ZBrush, to ZBrush. Grab the hero tree. Alright, and there he is. Oh, apparently I'm an idiot and didn't do selected. Very smart, Chad. It looked like it was... Oh. It was selected. I just exported everything. Export selected. Very important, crucial step. Hero tree, let's just overwrite that. Yes. I don't need materials, I don't need texture coordinates. We'll do that again. Alright, and normally I can just do this, and we're good. Just re-import the same object. No big deal. Okay. So this is, you know, kind of my my crappy tree, and really a couple of things I did wrong in my haste to get everything to ZBrush. I don't really need all of these guys, and really don't want to bring them because I want to leave them in the place that they were, so I know that I didn't mess anything up too insanely, that these connection points are going to no longer work. Now in this case I'm not going to be sculpting too much up here anyway. I'm going to really be affecting, you know, down here, but I'd like to show you you know, really the best way to work and not me being stupid. No. And no. Alright, so what I don't want are, I want trunk ABC, and I want everything that's going to be a Dynamesh, and that's these guys here. Branch 01, ABC. And I know this because I can go and I can look and validate that, well, B is actually a cylinder. So I don't need him, and everything else is a cylinder mesh. So what I'm going to do is turn these guys off. And leave all of these guys on. And right now I'm not really using that trunk filler guy. Based on the previous permutation I needed it, but I don't at the moment. And I'm going to update again. And sorry about that. That's, you know, takes a minute. The other thing that I need to do at this point is, so we've got this guy, and this is going to be, you know, the hero tree and rocks and whatnot, but we also are going to need to, and we can, well, let me see if that's completed. We're going to need to make the arms and all of that stuff. Alright, so now this is everything that is a meta mesh. Now the one exception I'm making here are the roots, and I want to know where those roots are because I'm going to mess with these rocks, and I don't want to do anything that's going to be completely crazy. If I lose one, like, whatever, no big deal. But you know, I kind of want to pay attention to what's going on here. Not to say that I can't sculpt this and then bring it back and, you know, further tweak, but you know, at some point I kind of want to preserve some of the work that I have done. So now I need to clone this, and yeah, make sure that I clone, and I'm going to call this baked base. And really what I'm doing, this is just so I can check my work. Just so I know that if I do something to this and suddenly this branch isn't sticking into here, and I want that branch to be procedural and blow in the wind and not be like hanging off, that I can correct it in ZBrush, and you know, there won't be any problems down the line. So this is my baked base, or what's going to be the baked base. And then for the next one, and I'm going to add that to my baked layer. The next one, I really want the inverse of that. I'm just going to hide this stuff. Once they're meshes, they get persnickety sometimes. They don't want to let you select them. So now what I want is everything that is a cylinder mesh. So I'm going to turn these guys off. I don't need him. I don't need him. I do need him. So everything that was turned off is coming on. And I'm going to update. Okay, so this is all of the other branches. Did that do anything weird? I'm not sure. We'll find out. Okay, and clone this. Baked branches. And again, throw that to the baked layer. Turn that layer on, turn the baked one off. So now at this point I'm going to have two guys on top of each other, baked branches, which I will update. And then we'll also have my other one, baked base. Everybody's baked. Oh, shit, I had it. Alright, and mesh and update. And I think this actually changed, because this branch was like going off over there. That's annoying. I don't know why it did that. Normally when you turn these guys off, it doesn't affect like the hierarchy, it just affects everything. It just makes them not visible, so you can collapse them and do all sorts of, you know, good stuff to them. We'll see. Maybe it was that this guy was blocked and I'm thinking of this one. I don't know. Okay, so the next thing in ZBrush I need to do, if you come into Lightbox, you're going to see that you've got all these, where are they? Is it the tools? Yeah. So there are some people here, and I can load this guy, and you'll see like, oh no, everything went away. It's still there. If you don't know ZBrush that well, it's super weird. So cool, but can be so weird. Our hero tree guy is still there. And now we can work with this guy, and really what I want, and you can kind of see the concept, and I'm going to pull it up for myself. So we need some arms kind of hanging off, and I need a face and maybe some other body areas. So it's kind of like an arm shoulder area and a face. And I'm not going to sculpt that crap. This is where it's like, you know, work smart, not hard. There's no reason. There's so many models and other things like that out there that we can really just kind of make our own, or make do with this guy. So what I'm going to do is duplicate him, and what I want is kind of this area. Let's see. I always forget where you are. Eventually I find you. Delete hidden. Okay, so now this guy, this piece is just this area. And that's fine. It looks kind of like crap, but it'll in the long run be okay. And I'm going to Dynamesh this guy and see if I can close that hole. If it doesn't, I think it'll be okay when I slap it into to the other guy. We'll find out. Dynamesh. Alright, I don't know. Yeah, so see, it does this like shitty job of that. I'm gonna wait and just leave it as a separate thing at the moment. But go to brush and create insert brush, insert mesh. The current brush is not an insert brush. Would you like to append the active mesh to an existing brush or create a new brush? I want to, in this case, create a new brush. And now I have a new brush that I can kind of come in here and move this, and with transforms rotate this guy around and stuff it into spots that I want it to be. Okay, so that's one brush. The next brush is Mr. El Capitan's face. So, again, I don't know. I mean, if we look at the reference, it's really, and you know, I'm not going to totally hold true to everything, but it's good to be able to, you know, at least somewhat go by a reference. So this is his head, obviously, and I'm going to create a new insert brush and create insert mesh. I want to make a new one. So now you'll see I've got these two brushes. I've got an arm and I've got a head. And I can go back to my tree. So now we have the tree. All right, and okay, sweet. So I've got my guy that is going to be the baked base. And that looks right. And I've got the other one as well up there. So this guy I'm going to convert to editable mesh. So the base is baked, and then bastard. This one I'm going to bake as well, convert to editable mesh. And then export each of these out. Serious? I don't know what it is, why it just wants to give me a hard time. I really need to do the file thing. I'm terrible with shit like that. I literally, my UI, I was on a job where it was like such a crunch and just working crazy hours and working the weekends, and my UI at some point just like freaked its shit and disappeared. I had no buttons, and I just couldn't cope with it at that point. It's like, fuck it, I'm not dealing with this, and just out of memory was pressing buttons despite the fact that, you know, they weren't there, or they were there, they just had no like graphic on them. So I kind of memorized the placement of things for my work layout. It was some sort of like Karate Kid moment, getting the fly or something, but not nearly as amazing. And I digress to Karate Kid. I should have a moment of silence after that. I can add that to my rules. No talking about Karate Kid. Alright, export selected because we learn from our mistakes. Class 5 to ZBrush and the OBJ. Alright, so I want hero tree, and I'm going to call this guy base. And again, don't need materials, don't need texture coordinates. I should just save a preset. That is what a smarter man would do. Export selected. Branches. Again, don't need that. Alright, now we're in business. Sorry about that. But it's important. Alright, so I'm going to duplicate this guy. I just want to validate that everything is the same. If it's not, I'm just going to move on. And I'll cope and deal with it knowing that it could change. Alright, so import my base. So we've got the base guy there, and duplicate again, and import my branches. And voila, yes, everything is the same. So this guy here, I can delete. I don't need you. And now we've got, this is the base. This is what's going to become dynameshed and what's going to receive the arms and insert brushes and all of those goodies. And get just, you know, majorly messed with. And then these guys, these represent the root of what we want to maintain as far as the procedural nature of GrowFX. So if I throw other branches off this, or make these guys longer, or add leaves, all of that stuff, these things will remain in the exact same positions that they are. And I want to use them as guidelines so that I don't sculpt and go crazy and like push this area over here and decide I'm going to really add all sorts of cool stuff on that branch, and then I went too far and I don't, you know, and I kind of will have to come back and re-edit it and tweak again after the fact. So it's important if you're doing something like that where you would like it to be able to blow in the wind eventually. Alright, so I'm going to save as, just because this is ZBrush after all. Go to tree. I don't even know what version we are on. Let me go back. Oh, it was Hero Rocks. Well, let's do that. Let's keep them separate. I mean, ultimately, they're all going to be kind of together, but Hero Tree VO1. Very descriptive. That will work. Alright. So, next. I need my tablet. Alright. So, in order to do what I want with this, I'm going to need to dynamesh it. And I'm not sure what resolution I want to start at. So this is obviously not really working. And it might be that these like small guys might not be able to come along. This is where, you know, Dynamesh is going to be really great for all of this, but I might kind of have to leave this or sculpt this and then add these guys after the fact in another way. Don't really want to do that because really it's just not important that stuff gets all that moved. Let's Dynamesh it. Locked main mem is list out. Oh. Nice. It's because I need to update to the newest version of ZBrush and get 64-bit. And crash. It's our first crash. I feel like we've bonded. It's a very important time. That's awesome. Oh, I thought it was crashing again. Sometimes if you just like fuck with it while it's thinking, Zbrush will crash, which is always awesome. New document, because I don't want that tiny little size, and I'm going to import. Seriously not save it? Awesome. Tee-hee. Guess we are going to use the lightbox one. Let's see what this is. Alright. So this is the one that's just got the base, and that'll be okay. I just need to bring in these guys again. Alright, so duplicate. Yes. As Jerry is saying, check out the feature list on GrowFX, because, yeah, it does all sorts of very cool shit. No. Wow. Nope. Oh, I bet you I saved it in the 2 ZBrush. No, I didn't. Hero base. And import. Hero branches. And then let's delete this guy. Well, and really what I might do here, just so I'm thorough with this, obviously I'm not going to get the resolution I need when I go to Dynamesh if I've got these roots baked in. So, you know, this is where it's kind of, you know, it's a little bit of a give and take, and you try something and it doesn't quite work, so you've got to kind of readjust what you're bringing out of Max. Hello, wake up. So I'm going to go back and, yes, yet again, because I'm awesome, I'm going to rebake this out. The reason why is because I'm concerned that my roots, my little roots, are too much, and I'm not going to get the resolution that I want out of it. So I've already got my branches, so I don't really need to be concerned with that. So I'm going to turn all of them off. Everything that was off gets on, except for the trunk filler. And roots small. I'm going to leave them as a separate element. And then I'm going to update. And I'm going to wait. Come on. And like an idiot, man, I should have. I didn't save my insert brushes, so I'm gonna have to make them again. I'm really like doing shit twice today. Loving it. Right, so we've got this. And let's turn this guy on, turn this guy off. Don't put that. Just really feel like doing shit over today. Alright, and clone. He will be base. And then I can turn all of this stuff off. Just turn my roots on. Clone, be roots, and obviously I need to move that one to the other layer. Add this to the baked. Then did I really just do that? Dude, come here. That's brilliant. I hate when the Alt Q doesn't work. GrowFX hair tree roots. So that should be in my turned off layer. Okay. Hide all. No. Alright, so I'm just going to turn this guy that I just had selected into, because I'm so freaking smart today, A and C. Alright. This will become my base. Come on. It's like watching paint dry. All right. Clone. No. It's the base. Add this to my other layer, turn off the GrowFX, turn on the baked. God damn it, come on. Of course. I have them both named the same. Well, hold on. I don't want hidden objects. Build that. Something is going to happen really soon, in like the next 5 minutes. It's gonna get exciting. I promise. I'm gonna be putting arms in trees and all sorts of crazy shit. While we're waiting for that, in fact. Let's go back to our guy. Tools. Let's get this guy. Let's chop him up again. Something like that. So tools, and then geometry, modify topology, delete hidden. Oh, damn it. Nope. Don't want to do that. So I didn't copy him. Duplicate. Now I want to do it. Alright. Geometry. Delete hidden. And come back to him. Isolate him. We want his head. And geometry tab. Modify. Delete hidden. So now we've got the arm, brush, create insert mesh. I want a new, and then we've got the face, brush, create insert mesh, And we've got the face. Alright, now at this point we should have also a tree. Yep. Alright, so convert to editable mesh. Okay, and this guy is supposed to be the roots, so I'm just too smart for my own good, apparently. Alright. And update. And so those are the other branches that are already baked. And convert this to an editable mesh. Alright. So now we have hero base, hero baked branches, and also some roots. So I'm going to take the base, export selected, overwrite the base. Yes. Again. Done. And then I want the roots. I already baked them. And export selected. And we'll make a new one called Creatively Roots. And export. Alright. Now something can happen. It's like Christmas miracle. I think I just had that guy selected, yeah. Alright. So instead of this, I need to import this new base. So that'll update and you'll see there are no longer the little roots, which is cool. Right? No little roots. And then we can duplicate this. Hello. Apparently I didn't hit the button. No, I did. Oh, you lying bastard. It didn't refresh. Yes. I fell for your dirty trick. Import and roots. Alright, and this time, don't be stupid like Chad. What the fuck? I went and looked and there was nothing sitting there. You are a lying... Alright, hold on, because I want to validate that... Zbrush. Okay, they're there. Alright. I'm going Coco Loco, apparently. Okay, so the base now, this is what we're going to Dynamesh. So under Geometry, under the Dynamesh tab here, and using the Dynamesh button, I don't know, I'm just going to 2048, or 1248. Doesn't really matter. And it's projecting, it's thinking about it. It's thinking about whether or not it hates me or not. And it did it. We know it did it because you can see I've got like quads everywhere. Now, this does kind of beg the question, do I want to Z-remesh this guy first? Because, you know, this stuff kind of looks, well, like crap. So I think I might, and smooth it and then Dynamesh it. And I'm going to Dynamesh it because the Dynamesh is what's going to allow me to just very sloppily hack shit together, shove arms and all sorts of appendages into this tree without really caring. But before I do that, I'm going to use the Z-remesher and remesh this guy. So it'll be all quadded out, and then I can smooth it, and then I can Dynamesh it. So it's going to think about it. Okay, so Z-Remesher is awesome. That just did a fantastic job. Well, almost. Spoke too soon. That's kind of nasty. I might be able to go in with like an inflate brush, and let's test this theory. I don't know. I don't think there's anything to inflate up here. Yeah, it's kind of turned this into a single guy, and that just might be because I don't have enough resolution in my Z-Remesh. Let's say 8. Right? I think this is what I want to use. I don't know. Let's try that. Because more is better, right? That's more is not better. What is it? Maybe it's the adaptive size. I always forget. I don't use this thing all that often. I mean, it's super handy. Let's try that. This is when you consult the manual. Or just click on buttons randomly. It's like when you're lost. Except for we don't get lost because we have GPS. Unless you have an old iPhone that's using an old maps and it runs you into a bridge or something like that. That's definitely not doing what I want. You're kind of losing these like little details. Not 800. I just want to see if I can maintain these little dudes. Alright. Closer. I'm going to undo and crank it a little bit more. Apparently 100 is all you get. So it's probably bad to put it at 100. And wait for it. Alright. Yeah. Seems like it did it. And something like this, I can just inflate this, kind of fatten that area up. No big deal. So, that's better. And, nope, I don't want subtools. Now if I go back into geometry and I divide this guy one time, alright, so it's now much smoother. Okay? Which is good, because now, I mean, there's some kinks or whatever, and that stuff's gonna be totally fine. We can go in. There are, like, I could go back into GrowFX and set this so that I'll have more sides on each of these meshes. This is totally controllable. It's not GrowFX being, you know, naughty that did this. It's really just me being kind of lazy and wanting the mesh to go faster. So my impatience has led it to do some of that stuff, but it's really, you know, nothing you can't just kind of smooth out and then inflate back up. Okay, so now that I've got this is great because it's smoother, but it still isn't going to allow me to, you know, kind of make a mess and hack stuff into there and do all the kind of like dirty things I want to do. So, just gonna kind of bring this stuff out a little bit more since I'm here at the moment. Alright, so now we want to, instead of Z-Remesher, I want to use Dynamesh. And this guy, so yeah, sure, 1208. Would you like to freeze? Yes, I would. Okay, and we've got 70,000 points and faces and something that looks reasonably the same. I might go a little higher. Let's just crank this. And first save. Yep. Yes. Really? Apparently that's all I'm getting out of this. It'll be fine. If I can, I'll take it, but if I can't, it's totally fine. Alright, so now we're still on our hero tree, and I should have here in the bank some insert brushes. So, let's see, our camera is going to be, well, first, before I start like throwing in some insert brushes, because really, I kind of want to modify the shape here a little bit. And no, clay tubes is my favorite. It's like picking a favorite child. I have no favorite children, for the record. So, I want to give this guy a little bit of a tummy tuck. He's got to go on some weight loss, and then maybe kind of pull this out. I like this shape, and we're getting some of it, but I'm not getting as much, and I'm gonna add some other stuff into that. Other than that, I'm gonna suck it in over here. So really, we want to give this guy, I kind of want to leave some of this, and maybe even make more of it, and suck in its gut, just to exaggerate. It's really that kind of exaggerated shape is cool, so I want to make something of it. So let's get down to it. So I think like really just subtracting first. Because I already know like my bounds are the tree that exists. And we can even use, you know, like a move brush for something like this. It's maybe a little less non-destructive. But it's still okay. I don't mind like kind of messing the mesh up a little bit as well. Oh, and don't be stupid. Change to a basic material. Because once you go back to max, that's just, it lies. So just, you know, kind of tweaking the form of this guy ever so slightly. Nothing too insanely crazy here. It's like, it's got a paunch there. You know, because I want to leave some area to carve some stuff out. So, come back. And on like 2 screens, my tablet doesn't want to go to the other one. Alright, so these kind of like folds and stuff, I'll add those later. it's going to be capitalizing on this kind of thing that already exists. Just going to kind of pull that out. All right. There's a lot of like add a little bit or add a bunch, smooth it out ever so slightly. All right. So now let's say I'm starting to be happy-ish with that, and I want to start thinking about these other forms, and specifically the arm or arms. All right, so now you'll see like I've got an arm, and it's nowhere near my mesh, but we can transpose this guy into place. These guys also have like a little bit of like an angle to them where they're pointing. So I'm gonna, kind of mimic that shape. Oops. And I want to give enough room for the head. Gonna kind of move this guy over ever so slightly. And rotate him a little bit. Just seat him a little bit better in here. And that might be good. And maybe I want to, I think it's a little big. So we're gonna scale it back some. All right. And let's say that that's good. So I'm going to control and click and like shift and drag and then do the same again. And it's going to re-dynamesh this guy. Or not. Did it really not? You made a liar of me. Or it just left that. I'm surprised. Wow, really? No fucking way. Alright, hold on, let's test this. Might be mad because that open area there. It gets pissed pretty easy. And I was not respecting its authority. So, it could be mad. Dude. Geometry. Wow. Getting all sorts of love today. Yeah. Ugh. Alright. That's awesome. And this is why we save often. Yeah, no kidding. Thanks. Alright, and load tool. open. Whoop. And of course, this is post dynameshing or anything. Awesome. Should have known not to trust you, Dynamesh. 1024 when you're acting goofy. When it acts goofy, don't trust it. Okay. Oh, motherfucker. Fool me once, shame on you. Zbrush has its days where it just crashes all the time. So I'm gonna get really fast at this. It's good when things crash and don't go your way. You get much faster. Is that enough? That'll probably be enough. We'll make it enough. Alright. Back to geometry. Delete hidden. Okay, and brush. Create insert brush. New. And damn you. Brush. Create insert brush. And new. And fuck yourself. Alright. Because not doing this shit again. This is the problem when you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna be really fast. It'll just be done. No, it's not. This shit is gonna crash on you like 17 times. So don't be like stupid, Chad. Alright, so arm insert. Yo1. And then call this guy save as. So now I'll be able to load these guys as I showed you before when you want to load brushes. So this is head insert Yo1. In the event that I want to change them, you know, I know that there's kind of version 1 brush and version 2 brush. Alright. Thank you, random head. So grab my tablet again. We're gonna do this wicked speedy. Dick. Proceed with the tummy tuck. Make sure you're kind of tucking from all sides so you don't end up with some sort of weird pancake thing. And clay tubes. Clay tubes is not really like a great brush for trees per se, but it's just kind of a good general brush. So, no, dick. And that's really interesting. Dynamesh is being totally freaking out on me. Okay. So making sure that it's behaving. Go to my arm. Grab it. Bring it into... Alright. Like, and no. That's not what I want. That thing got totally screwy. No. Nope. I want to come around the side. Around the outside. Around the outside. Sure. If you come in not all funky and skewed. Yes. Okay. Transpose. Let's rotate this guy. And move him. Rotate him again. He's so close. And rotate him. Walt Disney two-finger point. Alright, and one last little nudge in. And project that to do it. Yes. Alright, so I'm not crazy. Now we've got an arm in this tree. That's no big deal. So clay tubes. Just gonna smooth. And this looks like is just like a bad face or something. So again, you know, kind of the same. I generally start with the same technique. Just inflate this guy up a little bit to try to isolate the thing that's gone bad. It looks like it might have created a hole. That's interesting. I'm working in such a small document. Might be able to read this and close that. Yep. Once you just kind of smooth it out, make it behave, then you can, you know, get kind of get what you're looking for. All right, and save as, because this is ZBrush after all. It's like the 300. This is Sparta. Save as, but it's nothing like the 300 because I am not on some crazy abs diet or whatever the fucking. Can't stab people with swords, although that could be fun. There's certainly days when I'd like to stab somebody with a sword. Don't we all want to sometimes stab somebody with a sword? Alright. So, well, we'll kind of do this different, because I freaking can. Alright, so per the concept, we're going to kind of build this area up a little bit. Onto the other screen so I can see it. And it's not all going to be exactly the same, but, you know, kind of want to... There's a reason I liked it, or was interested in it, because it's got some good stuff, so I want to keep some of it. And... Man. It just doesn't want to let me get to it. There we go. Alright. Alright, and let's move this guy into place. Rotate him. Move him back. Over and down. Rotate him. So they're both kind of oppose what the other one was doing, and that's fine. It's I don't know. I don't see any reason why the one is going to be so visually superior to the other. At this point, I might change my mind, but, you know, I would never do that. And just, nope, it's not what I want. Rotate that guy just a little bit more. I just want enough separation that you know, these two things don't feel like they're up on top of each other. You know, they're both in the same area, but they don't need to be. So it's gonna redone it. It's gonna think about it. Maybe it's gonna crash. And it didn't. Christmas miracle. Alright. So then over here, got like, I feel like this is a little bit more kind of build up. Just to kind of set the, no. It's a problem with trees. You so easily get like, whoops, hit like a branch. Then you're sculpting in an area that you didn't really want to be. There's lots of those guys. Nope, wrong. Alright, and then add some chest thingy for Bob. And it's okay, like, you know, as we kind of demonstrated, I'm stretching out these polys pretty far, and it's just not going to be that big of a deal. It's easier also to kind of take it a little ways and then, you know, tone it back. I can always re-dynamesh that, and no one will be the wiser. So I'm gonna do that. And I want to give this a little bit more body. And I want to set the groundwork for where that face is gonna pop out. And then likewise over here, you know, we're gonna have like set the stage for this face, kind of come out there, pull this stuff back, you know, and because these are kind of fanciful or fantastical things, it doesn't have to be so anatomically correct. I am not like the best at anatomically correct, so that's good. There's a reason why I chose this. So but, you know, you still want to have some of the stuff kind of in there, feeling it. Alright, so save as. Just gonna rewrite that guy. And it's saved successfully. You did something successfully. Alright. I'm gonna redynash it because I want to feel some stuff before I slap some like heads in there. Alright, and then as you can imagine, head insert. And no. God damn it. Stop skewing it. Sure. Be upside down. And way too frickin' big. But if you're not skewed, I'm happy. I feel like this is like Dr. Manhattan or something. He looks so serious. Except for he doesn't have a blue penis. Very important distinction between my tree and Dr. Manhattan. Yeah, in case you were wondering. Like, nobody must be watching. There's just like no comment to shit like that. Really? Nothing? Sometimes I just want to shock you, but it appears I can't. Scale this guy a little bit. Oh, thank you, Zbrush. We accept your words of gospel. It's gospel, huh? Interesting. He's way too big. So I overdid my my sculpt there on the head, and now I'm gonna need to come in and scale that shit back. So I don't want this brush. Let's get rid of him. All right. So I need to, yeah, thanks. I need to bring this back. The intention, you know, is right. That it's good to set something in place, but I went far. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, no. Alright. God damn it. The second you start, like, rotating it, it just kind of goes wonky sometimes. Nope. Just gonna warp his head. Don't really want to do that yet, per se. And this guy's kind of like, oh, let me out. Obviously, his chest is way too big. He's been doing a lot of P90X. We'll see. And, you know, if it doesn't really work, we can always just smooth it over and try again. It could be, I don't know, I was just thinking about, like, if, like, half of his face were kind of, like, in it and the other half wasn't. I don't know, I think I took that too far. Come on. The other thing, too, is, like, I want them to have kind of, exaggerated features. He's too perfect, you know, man. Nope. And they're kind of like way more smoothed and integrated into this. Nope. I'll use this brush for everything. Yeah, so that's kind of, you know, with some help, that's more in line. And then, you know, once it's kind of like up-res, I can go in and open up his mouth and kind of make some more out of that. But that's the idea, is it needs to be better sat and a little bit more, not like Vitruvian man or whatnot. He's not the perfect specimen. He is fucked up and tortured. You know, that's really, you know, we need to, or we, I need to really convey that idea. And open the chest up here a little bit. And at the moment, I'm just going to kind of smooth details over. It's not about painting in all these little fine details. I'm only at 500,000 polys, so there's, you know, there's more to do. I am going to save though. And I'm just going to go up a version. It's like very Voldemort-y or something like that. That's cool, if you're into Harry Potter. Let's grab another head. Well, first let's smooth, because I already know, given the issues I had before, that this is going to be, you know, like too fucking, too crazy. Too much. So just smooth that out and prepare for the head. What if I... There we go. God damn it. And... Nope. Oh, come on. Nope. Don't undo when you're in insert brush. Point, you know, just scaling stuff into place and moving it around, getting it where I want it. And I'm gonna rotate him. Maybe just a little bit more. And I'm just gonna rotate him so he's kind of got his head turned a little bit more. Then rotate his head out just a scotch more. And then I'm gonna kind of pull that stuff in, I think. And I don't know, maybe I don't want his head that way. I want it that way. Yes. This kind of neck region is going to need some work, but that'll be the idea. Yeah, right now he's got a thick neck. Thick-necked man. And insert brush. It's done. And done. And while I'm at it, I'm just gonna do that other head over here. Nope. I don't know why, but I always feel like W you know, the WER doesn't work in ZBrush, but it actually does. Just it's one of the things that works quite well. I just like to push the buttons, apparently. Yeah, I kind of like that that guy's like, this face is looking a little bit more like outward like that. So I'm gonna try to stick with that actually. And then I'll deal with the face stuff here. Oops. And wait for it. All right. And again, so now I'm going to kind of come in and mess with these guys' faces a little bit. Just want their like mouth areas to be kind of exaggerated. And you know, they're low res, but it'll work. They're also going to end up being like covered with displacement and all sorts of other good stuff. Let's just pull him out a little bit. Get over here. He's my, what's the dude from Mortal Kombat? You would think if I'm like a dude streaming on Twitch would know more about video games. What's the guy that says get over here? I know there's one guy that shoots like freeze stuff. I don't know. I suck with that stuff. Man, I've like killed that guy's forehead. Got like world's worst forehead. Just get a bigger brush. Smooth this out a little bit. I don't want to go that far. I want to have some of the detail. Something like that. We can add more to it. All right. So let's save. Yes. And so the next thing is, you know, I've been using Dynamesh, so I'm gonna Dynamesh more time to make sure that everything is like happy in the world, basically. And again, you know, we're still really quite low res, but you know, we want to start to work out some of the form of this guy and kind of what he's gonna do. And obviously, this is not, you know, a facsimile of what of the other. Of the tree, but it's still using a lot of the same ideas. And I don't know, I'm tempted to throw like a face into this guy. It's tough though. You don't want it to be too cluttered. I think like, you know, the artist here, let's see, is Marco Gorelli. I suck at names, and that's the only reason why I don't say his name more often on the feed. He's done a great job, and it really is like balancing the elements on the tree and all of these other things. So, you know, if we kind of put too much too fast, then once we add vines and other elements, it's just going to get cluttered and weird. So I'm going to, at the moment, withhold, and I'm going to divide, and yeah, divide one more time. Alright. I'm going to go back to 8 subdivisions and start to... Really, I just want to like smooth this guy out. And I don't have to do it everywhere. This will all end up kind of working itself out, really. But in the areas that I'm gonna kind of hit most, I just want to start to have an idea of what. Oops. Did I not? No, I must not have. All right, let's come around over here. I really want to build up some more around this area, I think. Now granted, in this shot we're not going to see it, but still, if this were like a full 3D asset, we would see that, or we could potentially see that, and we definitely want to think about what we're doing there. I could just kind of polish the whole thing uniformly, but I don't really quite want to do that yet, if at all. Yeah, there's definitely like a bit of a funky stuff going on over here. So let's just, oh, no. Wrong brush, that's why. I'm gonna bring the intensity down on this guy. Clay tubes can be just like so crazy. Generally like 23 or something like that. And I'm just going between, you know, holding shift and smoothing and clay tubes to build up. And move. S for size. Thank you for saving that product. Nope, went too far. Still a little fucked up over here. No. He's gonna be okay. So, you know, this guy's bigger than this guy. I think that's gonna be okay. They're all kind of the same size in the image, but I don't know. I was kind of Thinking of giving them a little bit of hierarchy. Maybe one is the dominant spirit in the tree. Could come up with a whole story for this thing. There probably is. I'm probably the guy that doesn't know about this. Is like some thing. It's like it's a thing, and I just don't know about it. So just kind of starting to build up. And, you know, they're not exactly the same, so everything is not going to hold true, but I kind of like some of what was going on here, so I want to keep it in consideration. So quiet. I don't know, maybe I should play some like Enya or something like that. Who was the person that came on asking about the playlist? We were talking about it at the office, and then we wound up in some digression over Pure Moods, and it wound up sending a commercial. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Pure Moods from like, what was it, 1993 or something? It's like, if you happen to be up late at 3 o'clock in the morning, you would get one of these like infomercials for Pure Moods, and it was like Enigma and what else was on there? Enya, of course, Enya. Freaking awesome. So, but we wound up sending it like, I don't know, to a lot of people, and that was what we had determined that everybody would really like in my stream. Is you guys want to listen to some Pure Moods while I work. So let me know. You know, we can vote on that on the you know, Pure Moods inspirational music that we could listen to. Could really zone out and chant. Nothing. And nothing in the feed. I'm talking about playing Enya, and you guys have no comment. You really just doesn't matter. Enya sounds great. Yes, maybe if you want to go to sleep. If you'd like to stay awake, my goal is not to put you to sleep. Now, you know, that could be argued, perhaps. Perhaps that is my goal. Death by ZBrush sculpting. Like how it is. Don't think it needs music. Totally matters. I love it. Yes. I don't know. I think like when I was younger, I liked listening to Enya when I slept. It's kind of like soothing and relaxing. Now I can't listen to it. I can't even like tolerate it for much more than a couple of seconds. But you know, we all have our thing. One of my friends at work listened to Enya super slow. That's super awesome. Yeah, I used to feel the same way. One of the guys at work, I love it. And I don't think he'll mind me saying, he like his jam is Riverdance, the soundtrack to Riverdance, and oh god damn it, no links allowed, no disassembling required. Yeah, you post it on Facebook, and I'll post it up. So his jam though is Riverdance, and when he's like, you know, really in the zone, that's what he's listening to. He's like, you know, modeling environments to Riverdance, and I caught him. Like I came upon him, and he tried to close it quickly, but you know, but I busted him in it. And later on, like a couple months later, no, not allowed to post links, but you can post them on on like the Angry Polly's Facebook, and I'll post it. I'll have a look at it and post it for everybody. It's not, I know it's kind of annoying, but it's to avoid any what is it, spamming or whatever of like, visit my Russian brides, which I think I told you guys about how we get that in the effects department so much. It's fantastic. Every morning I have a new email from, I don't know what their names are, but about how they want to be mail order brides for the effects department or something. It's kind of funny. Yeah, so this guy, I wound up getting him the Riverdance soundtrack, and he really liked it, and that's freaking awesome. I love it. Spam. Alright. So I'm just kind of scribbling some stuff at this point, really. It's not, none of this is necessarily going to stay. But I want to get like an idea. I like the clay tubes brush just because, you know, it starts to give me an idea of like texture on this thing, and god damn it. And I'm sculpting with that fucking, I just like open it up and start working, and then I always do it. You're gonna, yeah, over the period of time you'll see me many times. Oh. Change to the material. So it's really just to kind of start to carve out and have a sense of what's going on here. That's all. So this is a much better representation of what we'll get in ZBrush. So let me see. Did you post it on the Facebook? No. Yeah, if you put it, or like send me a message or something, you can do that too. I like funny stuff, so if you've got something good. No, that's not it. If you've got something good, send it. Send it here. I'm not allowed to be on Facebook at work. Oh. That sucks. Lame. Sorry. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm gonna save. And actually, what do we got? Time 10:30. Okay, so I'm gonna save. And I'm gonna save up a version. And we're going to continue this on Friday morning. And at this point, you know, do any of you have any questions about anything I've gone over or shown, or something off topic? Again, it can be, will you look at my work? Will you, you know, don't send me pictures of weird growths on your arm. I'm don't know what the fuck that is, and I don't want to look at it. But you can, you know, ask other things, and I'm happy to answer and talk with you guys. So, anything to say? Hi Chad, sorry, but I have a question off topic. Yep, that's totally cool. I'm working in a spot where I need to do some water simulation. I used a little real flow in the past, but not much. I'm not sure if I should give Houdini a try since I've never used it before, but I've heard it's great for that kind of task. How difficult is it to learn? It can be very difficult, depending on your background. It can be a mega pain in the butt. Depending on the type of simulation that you need to do as well, it can be a mega pain in the butt. It can certainly do like everything and is just awesome. But if you're on a deadline and you need to like kick something out and you've never used it before, I would say go with the tool that you have used, and you know, in your free time, kind of learn Houdini and get up to speed. Use it in a couple of shots, and then, you know, maybe roll it out on something. But don't go in trying to like learn the app while you're also like working on the shot. Especially, you know, depending on the scope of the shot, it could be epically bad for you. I would kind of never. I often don't recommend that. You know, there are cases where it's like, all right, you're going to use a new technique or something like that. Let's say you're going to do some environment and you're going to use some of the Zbrush sculpting or something like that I've shown you, but you're still always grounded firmly in 3ds Max or Maya or whatever application that you've always used. And in this way, it allows you to kind of, at any point, you could hop back and be in your comfort zone, and you know, maybe you lost a day or two, but you didn't just like, you know, completely kill yourself. If you're trying to learn Houdini and you're trying to develop a shot around it, that could be, I would hate to recommend you giving yourself that type of headache. So that would be the answer to that question. What else? Nothing else is... The questions are pouring in. You guys, always so freaking quiet. Thanks, that helps me a lot. I'm glad to hear that. So quiet. Alright, if there's nothing, then there's nothing. And as always, this will be posted up on Facebook. You can watch it in your free time, and you know, subscribe to the YouTube feed, or did I say on Facebook? Well, it will be posted on Facebook, but it'll also be on my YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel. You get updates for when that stuff comes live. You'll get updates for when other videos become live as well. Follow on Facebook. Blah blah blah. Same old stuff. You know. So, that being said, I hope this was useful to you. I've enjoyed presenting this stuff to you guys. And have a good night or whatever it is in your part of the world. And I'll be available on the chat for another couple minutes if you have questions there. Good night.